What if I told you there are women who never experienced the nightmare of a messy home? That they've developed habits so simple and effective that they've completely transformed their household routine. You've probably wondered how some people manage to keep everything in its place, while others struggle daily with disorganization. The truth is, these women weren't born organized. They discovered secrets most people ignore. And today, you'll learn the 7 most powerful habits that make all the difference between a tidy home and a messy one. If you keep doing the same things you've always done, you'll continue to get the same results. But if you apply what I'm going to teach you today, your home can completely transform. Imagine never again feeling embarrassed when someone knocks on your door. Imagine having free time because you no longer have to spend hours tidying. Imagine the feeling of peace that comes from living in an organized environment. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete system in your hands that can change your life. But be careful. If you don't apply these strategies, you'll continue to waste time, energy, and even opportunities due to disorganization. So stay until the end, because the last tip is the most important of all and could be the game changer you've been looking for. Tip 1. The 2-minute rule that changes everything. Let's start with the first habit that separates organized women from disorganized ones. It's something so simple you can start implementing it today. It's the 2-minute rule, and it will revolutionize the way you handle household chores. The biggest problem most people face is the tendency to put off small tasks. You see a dirty dish in the sink and think, I'll wash it later. You find a piece of clothing thrown on the bed and decide, I'll put it away later. You notice your desk is full of papers and promise, I'll organize it tomorrow. The result? These small tasks pile up and turn into a mountain of work that seems impossible to solve. Women who always keep their homes tidy have discovered a much smarter solution. They apply the 2-minute rule. If a task takes 2 minutes or less to complete, it gets done immediately. There are no exceptions, no excuses, no, I'll do it later. Let's see how this works in practice. Imagine you just used a dish. Instead of leaving it in the sink, you wash it immediately. It takes less than 2 minutes. You take off a piece of clothing, and instead of throwing it on the bed, put it directly in the closet or laundry basket. 2 minutes. You pick up the mail, and instead of leaving it on the table, separate what's important and throw away what's not. 2 minutes. It seems too simple to work, but the results are impressive. When you apply this rule consistently, your home will never accumulate the clutter that later becomes a huge problem. It's like you're always one step ahead of the disorganization. The benefits go far beyond a tidy home. You save hours of heavy work on the weekend. You reduce the stress of living in a chaotic environment. You improve your self-esteem because you feel more in control. And you develop an action mindset that translates into other areas of your life. The key is to start slowly. Choose one area of the house and apply the 2-minute rule only there. It could be the kitchen, bedroom, or living room. Once it becomes a habit, expand to other rooms. Within a few weeks, you'll notice a complete transformation in your home's organization. Tip 2. The home system for everything. Now let's talk about the second habit, which may seem obvious, but which most people apply incorrectly. It's the principle that every item in your home should have a specific fixed place. Not an approximate place, not a place that changes depending on your mood, but a definitive, logical place. The problem many people face is that they buy things without thinking about where they'll keep them, or they choose temporary locations that end up becoming permanent. The result is that nothing has a permanent home, and when you need something, you don't know where to find it. Even worse, when you're done using it, you don't know where to put it, so you leave it anywhere. Organized women do things differently. They understand that assigning a place to each item is an investment that will save them time and energy for the rest of their lives. And we're not talking about random places, but places that make practical sense. Let's see how to apply this in practice. Your keys should have a fixed place near the front door. It could be a hook, a small table, or a key holder. The important thing is that it's always the same place. When you get home, the keys go straight there. When you leave, you always pick them up in the same place. You'll never waste time searching again. Medicines should have a specific place, away from humidity and heat. This could be a cabinet in the bedroom or a drawer in the kitchen. All medications are kept together, organized by type or family member. When someone gets sick, you know exactly where to find what you need. Important documents deserve special attention. Create a simple system, one folder or file for personal documents, another for bills, and another for warranties and manuals. When a new document arrives, it goes directly to the right place. When you need something, you know exactly where to look. The key is to consider frequency of use. Items you use every day should be kept in easy-to-reach places. Items you rarely use can be stored higher up or further away. But the principle is always the same, a specific logical place for each item. When you apply this system consistently, your home will transform. You'll stop wasting time searching for things. You'll stop buying items you already have but can't find. You'll stop feeling that frustration of not knowing where what you need is. And most importantly, you'll stop leaving things lying around because you don't know where to put them. Tip 3. The nighttime routine that sets you up for success the next day. We've reached the third habit, and this one may be the most transformative of all. It's about creating a nightly routine that prepares your home and your life for success the next day. Most people wake up in a rush, with no time for anything, and their homes reflect this chaos. But organized women know that the secret lies in preparing the night before. The problem is that many people see nighttime as a time for complete rest. They arrive home tired, throw everything haphazardly, and go to sleep thinking they'll fix everything the next day. The result? They wake up to a messy house, can't find anything they need, and leave late and stressed. Women who always keep their homes tidy have discovered that spending 15 minutes before bed can completely transform the next day. They created a simple yet powerful nighttime routine that sets everything up for a successful new day. Let's see how it works in practice. Before going to bed, take a quick walk around the house. Pick up everything that's out of place and put it back where it belongs. No need to do a deep clean, just organize. Take the cups to the kitchen, put away your shoes, fold the throw blanket. In just a few minutes, your home will be back to its basic state of organization. In the kitchen, get everything ready for breakfast. Put the cups away, clear the table, and prepare whatever you can. If you drink coffee, have the coffee maker ready. If you eat fruit, leave it washed in the refrigerator. Small preparations that make a huge difference in the morning rush. In your bedroom, lay out the next day's clothes. Not just your clothes, but everything. Shoes, accessories, underwear. Leave everything together, ready to go. In the morning, you'll get dressed without thinking, without wasting time choosing, without discovering that your blouse is wrinkled or your shoes are dirty. Also prepare the items you'll take the next day. Bag packed, necessary documents, keys in the right place. If you have children, have their backpacks packed, uniforms sorted, and supplies organized. Everything ready to go without rushing. The most important benefit isn't just organization, but peace of mind. When you wake up and everything is in its place, your day begins with a sense of control and tranquility. You don't waste time searching for things. You don't leave stressed, and you don't forget anything important. You start the day victorious, and this is reflected in everything you do. Before continuing with the next tip, if you're enjoying these strategies, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any organization tips. And let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love hearing from our viewers. Now let's move on to the next tip, which is about a habit that can completely transform your relationship with cleaning. Tip 4. The power of cleaning during the process. Now let's talk about a habit that can revolutionize your relationship with household cleaning. It's about cleaning during the process, not afterward. Most people let all the mess accumulate, and then face a struggle to clean it all up. But organized women have discovered that it's much smarter to clean as you go. The problem with the traditional approach is that you create a mountain of unnecessary work. You cook and let all the dirty dishes pile up. You use the bathroom and leave it to clean later. You do messy activities and think you'll fix it all later. The result is that cleaning becomes a heavy and unpleasant chore. Women who always keep their homes clean do the opposite. They clean as they go. They cook and wash utensils as they use them. They use the bathroom and leave everything clean. They perform any activity with the goal of leaving the space ready for the next use. Let's see how to apply this in the kitchen, which is where this habit makes the most difference. When you're cooking, fill the sink with hot water and dish soap before you start. As you use utensils, let them soak. While the food cooks, wash what you've already used. By the time you're done cooking, the kitchen is practically clean. During cooking, clean surfaces as you go. Spill something? Wipe it up immediately. Use the cutting board. Wash it before using it for something else. Get the stove dirty? Wipe it down while it's still warm. These small precautions prevent dirt from accumulating and hardening. In the bathroom, the same principle applies. After showering, wipe down wet surfaces. This prevents water spots and soap buildup. After brushing your teeth, rinse the sink. After using the toilet, wipe down if necessary. It saves seconds and a lot of work later. In the laundry room, don't let clothes pile up. When you take out a piece of clothing, it goes straight to the hamper or closet. When the hamper is full, put it in the washer. When the washer finishes, hang it up immediately. When the clothes dry, put them away immediately. Each step is done at the right time. The secret lies in changing your mindset. Instead of thinking, "I'll clean later," think, "I'll leave it clean for next use." Instead of viewing cleaning as a separate task, see it as a natural part of every activity. Instead of piling on work, spread out your tasks throughout the day. The benefits are enormous. You'll never again face that heavy, hour-consuming cleaning. Your home will always be at a basic level of cleanliness. You'll save time, energy, and cleaning products. And you'll develop a more relaxed, natural relationship with household chores. Tip 5. The 5-minute strategy that works. Let's talk about the 5th habit that can completely transform your relationship with home organization. It's about strategically using small chunks of free time to keep your home tidy. Most people think they need a lot of time to organize, but organized women know that 5 well-spent minutes can work wonders. The problem is that many people live with an all-or-nothing mentality. They either do a thorough cleaning that takes hours, or they do nothing at all. They hope to have a free morning to organize everything, and since that rarely happens, the house becomes increasingly messy. It's a vicious cycle that leads to frustration and further disorganization. Women who consistently tidy their homes have discovered that consistency is more important than intensity. They take advantage of small pockets of free time to do quick organizing tasks. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, and at the end of the day, the house is always presentable. Let's see how to apply this in practice. When you're waiting for the water to boil for coffee, use those minutes to organize the kitchen counter. When you're on the phone, fold some clothes. When you're waiting for someone to arrive, do a quick tidy up in the living room. When you're waiting for the shower to heat up, organize the bathroom. The key is to identify these dead moments throughout the day. We all have small pockets of time that we often waste. While waiting for food to heat up in the microwave, while waiting for the computer to turn on, while waiting for the program to start on TV. These are perfect moments for small organizational tasks. Create a mental 5-minute to-do list. Organize the coffee table, arrange shoes in the entryway, fold and put away clean clothes, organize your desk, clean the bathroom mirror, pick up scattered toys. Simple tasks that make an immediate visual difference. The important thing is to choose tasks that have a visual impact. There's no point organizing a drawers that no one sees if your desk is full of papers. Prioritize visible surfaces, spaces you use frequently, And areas that are most annoying when cluttered, use timers if necessary. Set a 5-minute timer on your phone and dedicate that time entirely to organizing. You'll be surprised at how much you can accomplish in such a short amount of time. And the best part, since it's only a short amount of time, you won't feel lazy or reluctant to get started. Involving the family also enhances results. Each person can have their own 5-minute task. Children can pick up toys, partners can organize the table. Everyone can contribute small actions that add up to a big result. The benefits of this strategy go beyond a tidy home. You develop an action mindset, learn to make better use of your time, reduce procrastination, and create a sense of constant productivity. Small daily victories that generate big transformations. Tip 6. The secret of the weekly review. Now let's talk about a habit that can make the difference between a home that stays organized and one that quickly falls into chaos. It's about systematically reviewing your entire home organization on a weekly basis. Most people organize once and expect everything to stay perfect forever. But organized women know that maintenance is essential. The problem is that even with all the good habits, little things get out of place during the week. You put something away in a hurry and put it in the wrong place. Someone comes home and leaves things out of place. Things get rushed, and you can't maintain your routine perfectly. It's natural and normal for this to happen. Women who always keep their homes tidy don't fight this reality. They work with it. They know that small slip-ups are inevitable, so they create a system to correct these minor distortions before they become major problems. The weekly review is like a reboot of your organization. A dedicated time to put everything back in its rightful place, make any necessary adjustments, and prepare your home for a new week of success. It's not a deep clean, but rather preventive maintenance that prevents small issues from becoming big messes. Let's see how to do this in practice. Pick a day of the week, like Sunday or Saturday, and dedicate an hour to reviewing your entire house. Start with one room and systematically check that everything is in its proper place. This isn't about deep cleaning, but about reorganizing what's out of place. In the kitchen, check that utensils are in their proper places, the pantry is organized, and the refrigerator isn't overflowing with unnecessary items. In the bedroom, check that the wardrobe is in order, that there aren't any piles of clothes, and that the nightstand is organized. In the living room, check that objects are in their proper places and that there's no accumulation of papers or miscellaneous items. Use this time to also evaluate what's not working. If you always find a certain item out of place, it might be time to change its location. If a drawer is always messy, it might need dividers. If a space constantly accumulates clutter, it might need to rethink its purpose. The weekly review is also a time to get rid of what you no longer need. That magazine you're not going to read, that expired paper, that object taking up space without a purpose. A little cleaning that prevents unnecessary accumulation. Take the opportunity to make small repairs and maintenance. Replace a burned-out light bulb, tighten a loose screw, clean something that's very dirty. These small tasks will keep your home in good condition. Involve the whole family in this process. Each person can review their own space and belongings. It's a time for home education, where everyone learns the importance of maintenance and takes responsibility for organizing the home. The benefits are impressive. Your home never gets completely out of control. You identify problems before they become major ones. You stay motivated because you see that the system works, and you develop a mindset of continuous improvement that translates into other areas of your life. Tip 7. The input and output mentality. We've reached the 7th habit, and this may be the most important of all because it addresses the root of the clutter problem. It's about developing an input-output mindset, where you consciously control what comes in and out of your home. Most people accumulate things without realizing it and then feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of items to organize. The fundamental problem is that we live in a society that encourages constant consumption. We buy things on impulse, receive gifts we don't need, keep items just in case, and accumulate papers and objects that have lost their function. The result is that our homes are filled with things that don't add value to our lives. Women who consistently keep their homes organized have discovered that it's much easier to keep a few items well organized than many poorly organized items. They've developed a conscious mindset about what deserves space in their homes and lives. Let's start with the entryway. Before any item enters your home, ask yourself a simple question. Do I really need this? Not just I want, but I need. There's a huge difference between wanting something and actually needing it. When you buy only what you need, you automatically reduce the amount of stuff you need to organize. Create a period of reflection before purchasing anything non-essential. See something that sparks your interest, write it down, and wait at least a week. Most of the time, you'll realize you don't actually need it. This simple habit can completely transform your spending patterns. When it comes to gifts you receive, be honest with yourself. If you don't like them, don't use them, or don't have space for them, it's okay to donate or exchange them. Keeping something out of obligation or guilt only contributes to disorganization. Your home should reflect who you are, not other people's expectations. Now let's talk about outgoings. For every new item that comes in, consider whether something old might go out. Did you buy a new blouse? Maybe it's time to donate one you no longer wear. Did you receive a book? See if there's one you've already read and can pass on. This one-in, one-out policy keeps the number of items under control. Regularly review your belongings. Every 3 months, go through your clothes, books, utensils, and decorations. Separate what you no longer use, what doesn't work, and what doesn't match your current style. Donate, sell, or dispose of it responsibly. Develop clear criteria for deciding what stays and what goes. For clothes, have I worn it in the last 6 months? For books, will I read it again? For utensils, do I use it regularly? For decorations, do I still like it, and does it suit my style? Having objective criteria makes decision-making easier. The input-output mentality also applies to information. Don't accumulate unnecessary papers, old magazines, or manuals for products you no longer have. Keep only what is truly useful and current. Your home and mind will be lighter. The benefits of this mindset go far beyond organization. You save money because you buy less. You save time because you have fewer things to organize. You reduce stress because you live in a cleaner, more functional environment. And you develop a more conscious relationship with consumption and material life. Before moving on to the next tip, I want to tell you about something special I've prepared for those who want to go beyond this video. It's a complete guide with organization secrets that completely transformed my home and can transform yours too. The link is in the pinned comment, and for a limited time, I'm offering a special discount for channel subscribers. Now, let's move on to the next tips, which are some of my favorites. Tip 8, the power of the tag and category system. Let's talk about a habit that may seem overly detailed, but it makes a huge difference in staying organized. It's about creating a simple system of labels and categories that makes it impossible to misplace things. Most people organize once and then forget where they put everything, but organized women create systems that work for the whole family. The problem is that our memory isn't reliable. You organize the closet and it's clear in your head where everything belongs. But 3 weeks later, when you're in a rush, you can't remember exactly where you put a certain item. Even worse, other family members don't know where things go and put them in random places. Women who consistently keep their homes organized have discovered that the solution lies in creating clear, visual systems that don't rely on memory. They use simple labels, logical categories, and visual organization that makes it obvious where everything belongs. Let's see how to apply this in practice. Start with the kitchen pantry. Create simple categories: spices, canned goods, pasta, sweets, drinks. Use labels or even contact paper to identify each shelf. When you or anyone else in your family puts something away, it'll be impossible to misplace it. In your closet, organize by category and use dividers or labeled boxes. One drawer for underwear, another for socks, and another for accessories. Each category should be clearly defined and labeled. When you take out a piece of clothing to wash, it goes straight to the right place when it comes back clean. In your workspace or office, create categories for documents, bills to pay, warranties, personal documents, important information. Use clearly labeled folders or files. When new paper arrives, you'll know exactly where to store it. For cleaning products, create categories by function. Heavy cleaning, daily cleaning, special care. Use labeled boxes or baskets. When you need something specific, you know exactly where to find it. When you're done using it, it goes back to the right place. The secret is to make labels simple and clear. Don't use complicated words or confusing categories. Use language the whole family understands. If you have children, you can even use drawings in addition to the words. The goal is to make the system obvious to everyone. Use simple, durable materials. This could be contact paper, adhesive labels, or even plain paper with tape. The important thing isn't beauty, but functionality. Labels that resist kitchen humidity don't come off easily and are legible. Start small and expand. Choose one area of the house and create the labeling system there. Once the whole family is comfortable, expand to other areas. Don't try to do everything at once, as it can become confusing and overwhelming. Involve the whole family in creating the system. Let each person suggest categories and names that make sense to them. When everyone participates in the creation, they feel more responsible for keeping the system running. The benefits are enormous. You never waste time looking for things again. Others can find and put away items without having to ask. Organization stays organized even when you're not home, and the whole family develops more consistent organizational habits. Tip 9. The transition zone strategy. Now let's talk about a habit that can solve one of the biggest home organization problems. Items that have no place because they're always moving. It's about creating strategic transition zones that capture these things before they spread throughout the house. Most people don't realize they need specific spaces for temporary items. The problem is that not everything in our house has a permanent place. You come in from the street with shopping bags, mail, keys, purse, shoes. You take out clothes that aren't dirty enough to wash, but also not clean enough to put back in the closet. Your kids come home from school with backpacks, toys, schoolwork. Where does it all go? Women who always keep their homes organized have discovered that the solution lies in creating transition areas. Specific, well-defined spaces to house these temporary items, preventing them from being scattered throughout the house. Let's start at the entrance. Create a transition zone right at the entrance. It could be a small table, a sideboard, or even a basket on the floor. This is where things that arrive from outside temporarily stay. Keys, bags, mail, small purchases. It's not the final destination, but it's the place where you arrive. Install hooks on the wall for coats, bags, and backpacks. Leave a space for shoes, such as a simple shoe rack or even a tray. The important thing is that everything that arrives from outside has a place to stay, without it being scattered around the house. In your bedroom, create a transition zone for clothes that are neither clean nor dirty. This could be a chair, a dedicated hanger, or a pretty basket. This is where you'll keep those clothes you only wore for a few hours but can still wear again. They won't go back into the closet, but they won't go into the dirty clothes basket either. In the kitchen, create a transition zone for items arriving from the grocery store. A designated area of the countertop where you place everything before putting it away in its final location. This way, you don't have to scatter groceries all over the kitchen while you organize. Also, create a staging area for important paperwork, a tray or folder that temporarily stores incoming bills, documents that need review, and information that hasn't yet been processed. It's not the final filing cabinet, but it's a waiting area. For families with children, create specific transition zones for each child. This could be a basket, a drawer, or a space in the living room where toys, schoolwork, and supplies from school are temporarily stored. Each child has their own zone, preventing everything from getting mixed up and scattered around the house. The important thing is that these transition zones have clear rules. They're not places to accumulate things indefinitely. They're temporary spaces that should be emptied regularly. Establish a routine. Every night or every other day, process everything in the transition zones. Processing means deciding the final destination for each item. Purchases go to their final destinations. Papers are filed or discarded. Clothes go back into the closet or to the wash. Children's things go to their rooms or designated spaces. Keep these areas visually organized. Use baskets, trays, or organizers that keep everything looking tidy even when they're in use. Remember that these areas are invisible areas of the home, so they need to be both functional and attractive. Clearly communicate to the entire family where these areas are and how to use them. Everyone needs to know that there's a designated place to temporarily leave things and that this area needs to be emptied regularly. The benefits are immediate. Your home no longer has things scattered everywhere. You have control over where temporary items are. Organization flows more naturally because there's a system for handling moving items. And the whole family develops more organized habits. Tip 10. The power of a daily maintenance routine. We've reached the last tip, and this one may be the most important of all because it integrates all the other habits into a daily system that works automatically. It's about creating a daily maintenance routine that keeps your home organized without excessive effort. Most people organize sporadically, but organized women make organizing a natural part of their daily routine. The problem is that many people view organization as a separate task from their daily lives. They wake up, go about their day as normal, and then try to organize everything at once. The result is that organization becomes a burdensome and unpleasant task that's always put off. Women who always keep their homes tidy have discovered that organization should be a natural part of their daily routine. It's not an extra task, but part of the normal flow of life. They've created micro habits that work automatically without conscious effort. Let's see how to build this daily maintenance routine. Start in the morning. As soon as you get up, make your bed. It doesn't even take 2 minutes, but it completely transforms the look of your room. While brushing your teeth, quickly organize the bathroom counter. Small actions that become automatic. During meals, apply the clean as you go rule. Finish eating, wash your plate, use one utensil, wash it before using another. Always keep the kitchen at a basic level of cleanliness. These actions will become as natural as cooking. At the end of the day, take a quick walk around the house. It doesn't have to be a complete cleaning, just putting things back in their place, shoes on the shoe rack, clothes in their proper place, objects in their homes. 10 minutes is guaranteed to wake up to an organized home. Before leaving any room, do a quick check. When leaving the bathroom, make sure everything is in its place. When leaving the kitchen, make sure you haven't left anything out of place. When leaving the bedroom, check for scattered clothes, small precautions that prevent big messes. Integrate organization into your existing activities. While you're on the phone, fold clothes. While watching TV, organize a drawer. While waiting for something, do a little tidying. Use downtime for small maintenance tasks. Create visual reminders until the habits become automatic. Leave strategic notes, set alarms on your phone, and ask family to help you remember. After a few weeks, these actions will become as automatic as brushing your teeth. Adapt your routine to your situation. If you work outside the home, focus maintenance on the free time you have. If you stay at home, distribute tasks throughout the day. If you have young children, involve them in age-appropriate tasks. There's no one-size-fits-all formula, but a principle that adapts to each situation. Be consistent but flexible. The goal isn't perfection, but maintenance. There will be days when you can't get everything done, and that's okay. The important thing is to get back into the routine the next day. Imperfect consistency is better than sporadic perfection. The benefits of this routine go far beyond an organized home. You develop personal discipline that translates into other areas of your life. You reduce stress because you live in a controlled environment. You save time because you don't have to do heavy cleaning. And you feel more confident because you have control over your environment. And that's the end of these 10 powerful tips that can completely transform your relationship with home organization. Remember, knowledge without action doesn't produce results. You've just discovered the secrets of women who never have a messy home, but now you need to put them into practice. Start by choosing just one of these tips to apply this week. It could be the 2-minute rule, creating a place for everything, or establishing a nightly routine. The important thing is to get started. When that first tip becomes a habit, add another, and so on. Remember that real transformation happens with small, consistent actions, not with sporadic, major changes. Every habit you develop will be an investment that will save you time, energy, and stress for the rest of your life. If you've made it this far, it means you're truly committed to change. That's already a big step. Now turn this knowledge into action. Your organized home is waiting for you.